First off, let me say congratulations on building your financial forecast. Now, I know for many of you, this is the first time you've done that exercise in that way, and bravo. This is going to take some time to get used to. And just like when we built the roadmap, what I'm going to encourage you to do is take a break from this file because you've done a lot of brain bending at this point. Take a week away and just set a time in your calendar to come back and revisit it. But the things that I want you to ask yourself in this evaluation are as follows. This is how you're really going to get to, is this right? Is this usable? Is this workable? Does this make sense? Okay. First question, how do you feel about the profit that was generated through this plan? So again, when we look at profit, what we're saying is like, what's the revenue my business is generating, income, subtracting out of it the expenses. That's what's left over. That's the profit. How did you feel about that number? Now, especially for those of you who did not bake in your salary into your plans, I want to know if that amount of money excites you. Is it enough money for you to feel like, yeah, I'm living the life that I want to live. This business is generating that amount of money. Is it within the range of what you want and what you expect? Now, if it's not, the question is what needs to change? And there are two things we have the power to control. Well, there's more, but let's just talk two in this case financially. We can control our expenses, right? So we can spend less. You may be able to go back into your budget, look at all of the expenses you have and ask yourself, are there some things I could cut out? Are there some things I could negotiate a better deal on? The answer is probably yes, but there is a limit to that, right? So if the expenses in your business were, say, $40,000, there's only so far you can move that needle until you're really hurting yourself and your ability to run your business. Because if you pull out all the fuel, the money that you're using to run it, you may start to bootstrap again, and this is going to feel really gross. So the other side of the coin is what we have more ability to control. We can always generate more income. We can always generate more sales. That's the gift of being the business owner, right? But when we do that, so if you're to say, well, I want to make more money, I don't like what the plan is generated, you go back into that income spreadsheet and you say, I need to sell more of the website redesign, I need to sell more of these t-shirts, I need to sell more of whatever. What we need to ask ourselves is, do we have the activities in the business to support generating additional sales? Because what you and I both know is that we don't just sit back and then wait for all the sales to come to us. We have to work it. We have to market, we have to promote, we have to engage in sales conversations, we have to prospect, right? So we really need to ask ourselves, do we have the activities in our business to support that? There's two places that shows up. It's in the expenses because some things cost money. So if we were to say, I want to market my business more to help generate more sales, well, we need money to market. You may need to go put some more money in the expense side. We may also need to go back into the roadmap and say, okay, if I need to generate new clients, where would I go get them? And then plan for those activities. So if prospecting is part of it, or attending networking events, or doing outreach through various organizations where your clients are, we need to plan that and put it in the roadmap. You follow? Okay, next thing. I think that a really good activity is to look at, in your income plan, the things that really are generating the most growth or the most sheer volume of sales in your business. There are probably a couple of things that generate most of the sales. And those are the things that many times, if we put some more work into, we can quickly change the growth trajectory of our business. So let's just say, for example, you sell something that's $100 and you sell something that's $1,000. If the $1,000 is something that you can really see a clear path to marketing and promoting and selling more of, you probably will want to do that versus trying to sell more of this $100 thing, because we'll be able to generate the sales quicker. Down here we need volume. We need lots and lots of people to buy at $100. Up here we only need one for every 10 down here. You follow me? So go look in the income spreadsheet and get a sense for what is contributing the most income to your business and understand if you can influence that a little more. Last thing, I want you to ask yourself if the goals really challenge you. There's sometimes there's a tendency to be like, I'm good here. I don't want to push it too far. Just ask yourself if you've done that, if you're like hedging a little bit. I encourage yourself, like, push it a little bit, you know? I think sometimes we need to see that there's a bit of a stretch. Um, it's not enough just to be like, I'm going to do what I did last year. I want you to have a little stretch goal in there. Go for it, right? And the last thing is, um, what is your degree of confidence as you look at the plan? Because I think there's sometimes is a tendency to put numbers in, let's just say on the income side, you're like, I'm going to sell 2 this month and 4 the next and 6 the next and 10 the next. And then you're like, well, am I? I don't know. I want you to be clear with yourself, truthful with yourself. Did you just put a number in there? Or is it something you're like, I really believe that we can do this if we do the right activities in our business? We really need to come at it from some sense of groundedness. And of course, last year's numbers help you build that. But we also need to be doing the gut check, gut and intuition. Did we build the right plan to truly support the numbers that we put in as our goals? Make sense? Okay. If you have any questions as you go back through your plan, do reach out and let me know. And again, take a break from it. Like, give yourself a week away, review it then, make adjustments to it. And of course, as we move throughout the course of the year, you're going to want to pop back in here and make the adjustments as you go. It's a living, breathing document. You feel me? All right, that is all for this particular module, and we're headed into the last one, which is where we start to translate this plan. You've got a good plan. We start to translate it into action, and we're going to talk about how we build a really great quarterly plan, which is a window of time that you can see and you can feel and make it real. All right, I'll see you in the next module.